Hi guys, so today I am making a video on cloth diapering and everything that I've learned over the past year cloth diapering my son. I want to make this video because I ended up finding out about cloth diapering on YouTube and building the confidence to get started myself by watching other people do so. So I just want to share all the tips that I've gotten over the past year for making it sustainable for me, and just kind of also share maybe how much money I've saved in the process, and how I feel about the whole thing. So let's start with how many cloth diapers I ended up getting and the different types. The types that I have liked the most have been the pocket diapers. So I'll have inserting clips here in the video, but the pocket diapers where you put the insert inside of the diaper, those have just felt the easiest and I feel like most comfortable probably on my son. And so, all these inserts, that I have, you can do 1, 2 for different levels of absorption. I have a few different kinds. Sometimes I do like my thickest one and just put that one in singularly, when we're maybe around the house and I know I'm going to change him soon or we're going to leave soon. And then I'll do sometimes the double, a little bit of a thinner one, and I'll do 2 doubles. And that's more absorption because I'm doing 2. And then I have some that are like really thin and I almost never use those. So yeah, it's really just like 2 of my kind of medium-sized pads together or 1 of my thicker ones, but both of those are kind of providing similar absorption. I think though that the 2 medium ones are a little bit more. The brand that I ordered from is Nora's Nursery, and I think the doubles that I got are from Nora's Nursery, that came with that brand. So I ended up ordering 2 different packs of 12. So 12 diapers would come. 1 color palette was how I was choosing it on Amazon, is where I purchased. And then I ended up getting a whole nother pack of 12. So now I have 24 of those. I also have the diapers. I'll have to insert the word because it's not called a pocket diaper, but basically it still has all of the buttons and you end up just laying the inserts in the diaper or sometimes clipping them in. And I do that only in desperate measures. I ended up not liking that, just felt it wasn't good enough. I don't know. I really like the pocket better. So still have some of those for when I do run out. I also combo diapers. So, I am using a clean brand for just a disposable as well. And, sometimes like on vacation or something, we just got back from a trip, I unfortunately did use disposables the entire trip, which I don't like using that many disposables. That's why I use the reusable to really help me lower the cost and waste of disposable. But it was very convenient with how much we were, out and about, and just not having to worry about the poop diapers. The pee, if it was all pee diapers, I wouldn't mind using that on traveling. So maybe if hey, my baby's already, or my baby is going to go poop in the morning, and then they're not again, then maybe you could bring the others and the reusable and use them the rest of the day. But I just didn't want to mess around with that because I could have washed in the washer on the trip. And that brings me to washing the diapers. Yes, inserting a clip here of how I clean the poopy diapers. I take them outside. I wash them off with the hose. I also got a little hose for the toilet. That hasn't worked for me as well because it's really hard for my son being primarily breastfed still. It's really hard for me to it's not one solid poop. So over the toilet, I would have a mess all over the bathroom at this point. If it was more solid, I think I could just plop it in the toilet. At this point though, the breast milk and the other fruits and things that he eats create a pretty mushy poop, and so coming outside, throwing it on the ground, and just spraying is the easiest way to kind of get everything. But doing, over the toilet or some type of designated sink, obviously, that you're going to clean well, can also work. So getting it off, and then the biggest hack is putting the diaper outside. So I'll show you like a before and after of the diaper that I have just washed. Before, where I just washed everything off of it and the coloring of the diaper, and then after, whenever the sun bleaches it later this afternoon around 6 o'clock, take it inside, and the diaper obviously needs to be washed now in the washing machine, but all of the fecal matter and coloring is primarily gone. So all of my diapers have been almost kept in pristine condition. Even almost all of them have probably been cooped on at this point, and they all look white with this process. And so when it comes to washing them, I've always used the method of putting them all in the washer once they've all the poop has been wiped off of those. And then I just throw all of the pee diapers in. I remove the inserts. Everything goes in the bin, and you do a rinse cycle to really agitate and kind of get off as much as you can, and then you do a deeper wash cycle where you're going to actually add your detergent. Detergent is key, so I use a brand by Molly Suds, unscented, and I like that one a lot. You don't want to use vinegar because it can apparently make that elastic on the bands start to degrade. And so I try to be gentle with them, especially since I'll be using these for many, many years to come with other babies. So a nice laundry detergent, and then another wash cycle. After that, you take them out to dry. And so I hang mine in my laundry room. I have a little clothing rack that I hang them on. You could hang them outside. If they have stains on them. Some of the ones I pull out, I'm like, oh, this still looks stained. Okay, I'm gonna go put it in the sun. So I use the sun as my only source of bleaching these diapers to get them back white on the inside. So that's really my process for everything. Now, let's see, when it comes to like stress and all of that, kind of like I've mentioned, I do combo with the disposables. So sometimes I have felt a little bit stressed if I haven't gotten them washed quickly enough, and I've kind of run out of diapers, and then I'm like, okay, I really need to get these in, because now I went through 4 or 5 diapers and disposables in one day, and like I need to get back to my reusables. But since I have about 24, that lasts me, using the combo as well with my disposables, it lasts me about 5 to 6 days. So and then overnight, this is a big point, overnight I end up using a disposable, because I want to have him be able to be as dry as possible, and those disposables really wick away that moisture from his body. I don't want him sitting in that. So he sleeps through the night now at 1 year old, and so I put his diaper on at 7, and I'm also not really feeding him through the night, so generally he doesn't have that wet of a diaper anymore, but I still just like to do it that way for him right now. So I do go through disposables as well. On a good day, I'm only using 1 or 2. On a bad day, I'm using 3 or 4 disposables. And so that's especially if I run out 4, 5, 6, I don't like that, and that's why I have these. But I do realize that would be my reality all of the time if I hadn't have gone with the reusable. So that's why I think that they're very handy, is to lower that cost. So so I just got my calculator out and talked to ChatGPT, did some research. So from what it looks like, the average family spends around $1,000 to $2,000 to diaper a child for a year. You know, you use a little bit more diapers when they're a newborn, they're going through them a little bit quicker. And so let's just say, you know, $1,500 a year on average. From my calculations, it looks like I saved around, I would say around 800 to 1,000 from what it looks like that we've spent. So, you know, if I am only using 1 to 2 diapers a day, I think on average though I could even say three diapers a day compared to the average of like 6 to 8 that the normal person would use. So on average, I would say I saved about 1,000. If you were to spend 2,000 on diapers a year, disposables, I only spent 1,000 on disposables. And then a good thing to add in here is the Nora nursery diapers. The packs of 12, they go for anywhere between $50 and $60 something. So I also spent an extra $100 to $130 on Amazon to purchase those, and they came with the inserts and everything like that. So yeah, I mean, you know, also washing them, you know, you're using water for those cycles. But in general, I would say to not put those disposables diapers in the waste bin, and to be able to, you know, just save some money in that way. I think that it's worth it. You know, and you can definitely be more strict about it. I think another set of Nora nursery diapers for me would allow for me to never maybe run out. I mean, I think that it gets to a certain point where it's like the more you have, the more you may just extend the time before you need to wash again, which is kind of what I have done, because when I did only have a smaller set, I was doing laundry every like 3 days versus, you know, now where I can extend it to about a week, because once again, I supplement with disposables. But, you know, you can definitely, I wanted to only have to wash them once a week, you know, was my goal. And so, but you could always get more diapers and still wash them once every week, week and a half, and have those extras always on hand. Maybe even put to the side so you almost don't think about them until you really need to use them, and it'd be like, okay, whenever I get to those are set to the side, that's when I have to wash these other ones or I'm gonna run out. So there's a few different ways of doing that to really hold yourself accountable so that you don't run out of diapers for your child, but you also are not, you know, relying on just using disposables and stuff. So you can save even more, but it's also about the environment, you know, and I like to also just put the cloth diaper on him. Oftentimes I put it on him because there's a protective coating on the outside, the material on these reusables, and he'll even play in the yard, sit in the grass, sit in the dirt, and you just brush it off. But you know, his reusable or his disposables, they get dirty, and you know, it's a whole thing, and you kind of need to change the diaper. There's, you know, grass all stuck to it and stuff. So we put him in these reusables and let him run around and stuff all the time, and I like them a lot more, and I like having that ability to do both. I hope that this video was helpful. Please leave me any questions that you have in the comments down below, and I will answer you 100%, get to you there. And I can always make another video if I need to make another video on some type of a topic or question. But we've been doing it for a year. We're going to continue to do it until I potty train him here within probably the next year. So thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next time.